Root Vibe is going to be spawning as the mid-left-hand Zerg. The red Zerg over here on dual site, mid-right-hand position. We have Liquid TLO. That was the sickest transition ever, right?
Well, I was saying, well, because TLO is going for a 10 pool.
All right.
And he's, ooh, but Vibe is he gonna go for a hatchery or a pool? If he goes for a gas pool, he's gonna be in good position. But he goes for that hatchery, it's gonna be very hard to hold, especially on dual site.
He's up to 15 drones right now, but we have seen 15 spawning pool, and he's not gonna do that.
Oh, he's going for that hatchery. And now I did pick TLO for this match because I think it's just whenever I underestimate TLO, he always impresses me. And then when I expect great things from him, you know, TLO falls a little bit short.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, so from this point, I'm not expecting that TLO. It's just that I'm rooting for him. You know, I'm rooting for. I love Vibe. In fact, Vibe was one of the first pros to let me watch his games and learn from him and give feedback on other stuff. And so I like Vibe a lot. But I just want TLO to succeed just because he's been working his butt off and he's really been practicing hard and it's been showing. And so I hope he succeeds.
We'll see in a little bit. It's going to be all with his Zergling micro. Now, Vibe has spotted everything coming out. The Zerglings will run past the Overlord, and not only that, he sees that there's no hatch being made over here. So what does Vibe do? We'll see in a little bit. He is making additional drones, and he hasn't yet canceled this hatchery. I think that is the right decision. You don't want to do that until the very end. But look at this spine crawler being made, and of course Vibe already knows about it. Now a lot of drones are being pulled right now. He needs to go ahead and kill that spine crawler, but at the same time protect as many of his drones as possible. Great micro, and is it going to be enough?
Ooh, that spine crawler is just taking time, but a lot of those Zerglings are pretty weak. TLO immediately pulls back. A lot of those drones are in the orange. A fantastic job defending, but now the drones are really starting to fall, and the Zerglings are really going to work. The drone is still trying to get a surround, but oh, another surround on the Zerglings. And that spine crawler getting up, though, is still bad news. Vibe has 10 drones back.
I don't know if that was the best thing to do, though. The spine crawler probably will go down here. Yes, it does. Needs to make sure those drones don't die to any of those spine crawlers. And there it is. Man. So look at that. Vibe actually stabilizes. He has a lot of position to cover. But the most important thing, let's look at the income tab, 10 to 14. That's a little bit difficult. But the fact of the matter is, Vibe has the ability to make queens. Queens can help very, very substantially in these positions. But it's still a toss-up. It's hard because Vibe needs like a good 4 or 5 minutes to actually let this hatchery kick in and have it be cost-efficient.
I like that he said queens because he has 2 hatcheries and so he can have more larvae. The only thing is that it's going to be hard to defend, so as a result, Vibe is forced to spend a lot of times at the bottom of his ramp. TLO does have speed on the way. That gas advantage does apply in this scenario. You can see TLO saving an incredible amount of rings. He has no intention on playing any kind of economy. He's got Baneling Nest on the way.
Vibe knows that. Look at that. A spine crawler goes down instantly. Now, I think in this position, Vibe should be going a ton of queens. And that's it. Queens, spine crawlers, no gas. Don't even bother with gas, because in this position, you know your opponent hasn't taken an expansion. They only have one move. Roach, Zergling, Banelings. Some combination of those 3 units are being sent at you right now. So make sure you can defend against that. Get a ton of queens. I don't care if it's 6 queens. Do it. And then you will be able to defend, or hopefully you'll give yourself the best opportunity to defend.
Yeah, you need to protect that ramp as best as you can, but with this many Zerglings, it's going to be insanely hard to hold. 30 to 5, Andre. It's going to... I mean, Vibe's now starting to just collect his gas. And, I mean, TLO with speed finishing, he can easily get a surround. If he just busts the ramp once, that's it.
Precisely.
I mean...
And there it is.
Just one time. Banes are being made right now, and TLO trying to see if he can go for a surround. Does manage to get to the spine crawler, and really needs to separate his Zerglings out appropriately. But you can see the queens are dealing with a very nice transfuse immediately. Tries to even get another transfuse on. Vibe should be able to get it off.
Get it? Oh, wow. He doesn't.
Though.
He had a transfuse over there. Now one queen. Whoa, he transfused at the last second. And this is the power of the queen these days. And I like the fact that he didn't actually spend anything, but it looks like he will actually get up here. The last queen that's blocking everything does go down. Wow, he picks off the Baneling. Unbelievable Frodan. My God, I can't believe we just held that off, but it's still going to be a difficult task to defend this.
Yeah, and TLO is now making Banelings while trying to keep the front rank occupied. You can see Vibe is now searching for the Banelings, looking for something. Something is suspicious, but there's two Banes about to morph, and those Banes are going to go straight for the mineral line. The drones need to actually run, but they're running straight into the Banelings, and TLO is completely okay with trading at that point because he does still have a lot more Zerglings on the way. Two Queens are about to pop for Vibe, but the one Queen's about to get trapped. Oh man, very, very tight scenario, but in the end, Vibe looks like he's actually stabilizing. TLO's just starting to expand, and TLO is also still making Banelings back in the distance, but of course Vibe sees it with his Overlord.
Can you believe this? TLO might be behind in this position. I mean, this is a very difficult position to actually come out from because the drone advantage is actually going to go to Vibe pretty soon. The Banelings can be sniped pretty easily with these Queens, and now that they have enough energy to transfuse each other, they actually have the agency to actually go out into the middle of the map, start sniping out Zerglings, and know that they're okay as soon as they transfuse.
Let's take a look back again at what we just saw, as we also keep the picture-in-picture just so you guys can be informed. We see immediately sniping the Spinecrawler, but the transfuses were so clutch. You know, we were saying, Vibe, are you going to transfuse the Spinecrawler? No, he wants to protect his ramp. A very well done defense, and you can see eventually you're going to target the Banelings, and after that, what can really TLO do? He can't force himself up any further, and in the end, we now have ourselves a ZVZ where Vibe has defended a 10 pull with Hatchery first. And TLO is going to try to put on more pressure, but I think Vibe should be able to stabilize.
Oh! Oh my God, that Baneling.
Oh, TLO's going to try to split up and try to see if he can avoid it, but the two Banes are trying to go into it as well.
Great micro.
Very tight micro, but oh, great trades, 1 for 1. Oh, but the Zerglings do not able to escape that other Baneling, and as a result, Vibe able to stabilize a lot more. Drones are super weak. But Vibe doing a great job maneuvering in the end.
That extra DPS from the Queens, man, those are the ones that are really kicking it in and making Vibe, you know, defend these really easily. Banelings are going to come in here, but not really exploding anything of use, in my opinion. Income captures 22 to 17. He has his hatchery down. He has 3 Queens up. Vibe has equal tech, just about. I mean, he has the Baneling nest, so his equal tech. Vibe is way ahead, man. Oh my God! Vibe won off of a 15 hatch against 10 pull, man. That is impressive.
It's anything can happen, man. If you lose control of your units for 1 second, those Zerglings all of a sudden run into a Baneling. But Vibe has stabilized, and yeah, definitely won on that front. TLO now is trying to catch up in drone count, but the fact is he's got 1 Queen. He's going to be behind in production for us a little bit of time. Actually, for a significant time, he doesn't even have a Queen started. We can see a Roach Warren immediately started for Vibe as well.
Oh, yeah.
No Evo Chamber, because normally you can get that +1 in unison, but at this point, he just wants to get those Roaches out to stabilize because he knows TLO's been staying on links for a long time.
This is not really a map where you like to go mutas, I think. Well, okay, mutas are good when you're ahead, but I think overall it's very hard to actually say it's going to pay off very well. Baneling's going to trade a little bit over here. But the main reason why I say that is because there's a lot of entry points, and you can never put Spinecrawlers in good positions to defend against incoming Roach Zerg and Baneling timings. So mutas, a lot of times, is very risky to do it. If you are able to pull it off, it's great. But that's why I think we see the Roach transition. An Evolution Chamber should be inbound pretty soon. When are we going to see that, though? I think Vibe should be sprinting towards that. He's probably going to put 2 Evolution Chambers down at the same time. I've seen them do that style quite a bit before.
All right, so we see a layer starter for TLO. And he's also gassing up really quickly, so he could try to see if he can play directly into layer tag, whether it be Infestus or Mutas. But, you know, TLO has been also the one that's been playing really unconventional in his matchups. TLO does go for, like, mass Zerglings in ZVT, mass Zerglings in ZVP, and would not be a surprise to see him go mass Zerglings in ZVZ. But he is getting for 1 Evo Chamber, so he's at least going to stay for a while passive, indicating he wants to go for at least some kind of mid-game.
Yep, but this Roach timing, I don't see how TLO can stop this. He has no Roach Warren up for himself, and he doesn't have like a Larva lead. He doesn't have 3 hatcheries. He doesn't have the economic advantage. He doesn't have the Larva advantage, so I think this is going to be a pretty easy fight for Vibe. I don't see any foreseeable way that TLO will be able to defend this efficiently.
And oh, the Banelings are trying to run by, see if they can explode immediately onto the Banelings, and no real damage there. The drones are trying to run into the fight, but TLO absorbs a huge portion of that damage. As you can see, the roaches are now in, just like you were saying. TLO is really hard to defend. Oh, the roaches do end up getting surrounded, but again, the Spinecrawlers are way too late. GG gets called out, and Vibe takes game number 1 after holding a 10 pool, going hatchery first. An improbable scenario, but very likely to the USA WCS champion.
Rock on.
And yeah, USA, man.
USA.
Vibe is playing so well, and it's so funny because he's like joking about how much he plays D3, but he's still so good.
Yeah. You know, even though he plays a lot of D3, and let me tell you, he plays a lot of D3, okay? I'm not on it too often, but compared to you guys, I'm on it pretty often. Vibe
I haven't touched D3
is
in like
always
a week.
on it, man. Always on it. It's crazy. So, you know, I love to see him do well. Obviously, his Korean training and his Diablo training is paying off. The clicking, man, that's what it is. You have accurate clicking in D3. That's how you train.
That's not true, man. Like when I first split my drones, first split my SCVs, I tried left clicking everywhere.
Oh.
That's how it was.
Oh.
Everything is different in SC2 and G3, but nothing is different from Vibe winning compared to last weekend. And we'll see if he's able to keep it up in game number 2. So don't go anywhere. We want to thank, actually before we go, we want to thank Kingston HyperX for providing SSD and memory for NASL Season 3, as well as an SSD for the winner of the Sunday Showdowns, which was a fantastic set of weeks. We'll be back with game number 2, and it looks like already the next map has been chosen, Shire Temple. So a little tease for game number 2. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute.